Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on an episode of Side Flick. My name is Chris. We got nice little movie news stories to cover today. So the episode we're going to be talking about here today is I'll be giving you my thoughts on the latest Stranger Things trailer that just dropped for season 4. We have Will Ferrell joining the live-action Barbie movie, Spirit of Halloween getting their own movie, and some interesting little tidbits involving Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. That along with so much more. So I'm going to need you guys to give me your opinions on everything we discuss here today. What'd you like? What didn't you like? And as always, there's timestamps in the description if you just want to go ahead and skip around. Starting off here, they went ahead and released the full trailer for Stranger Things season 4, and Stranger Things has had an interesting history with Netflix. I feel like it was the first big show on their streaming platform, and now all these years later, with the streaming wars and everyone trying to get into the streaming game, this is a show still running on its 4th season. And admittedly, I think Stranger Things season 3 was probably their best season. I really enjoyed that one, and now looking at the trailer for season 4, like, I'm excited, but nothing in here really put me over the top. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool to see these kids now a little bit older and more mysterious things are starting to happen. But at the same time, I feel like maybe this trailer was missing some sort of wow factor, something that really made me want to stay there. Sure, we got someone playing the guitar in the Upside Down. That looks fantastic. I know one of the main reasons I'm going to be checking out this season is because Robert Englund, aka Freddy Krueger, is said to be having a role in the show. But I don't know, I feel like Stranger Things has kind of gone down in popularity over recent years. I don't know if that's just people outgrowing the show, or again, it's one of the faults of the Netflix platform where they just release the entire show all at once, giving it such little lifespan. I do like whatever is going on with this crazy being in the Upside Down, moving away from just a stereotypical monster that's mindless going after you. It's gonna be kind of cool now to see something that has a mind of its own and can maybe attack these kids in a more intelligent way. So I am gonna give this trailer a treasure and say I'm excited for it, but I feel like there's something missing here or why I'm not like over the moon for it. Am I the only one? You guys go ahead and leave me your thoughts down below. And I guess since we're on the topic of horror related shows, we got here a nice little surprise I was not expecting at all, and that is the report that Casper the Friendly Ghost is coming back, y'all. Variety here has it reported that Casper live action series in the works at Peacock. And this goes back to, like I was saying, every streaming service is looking at what popular IPs they have in their lineup and seeing what they can turn it as profit for their streaming service. And it looks like Peacock went ahead and looked at their lineup and said, a Casper live action series? That's where we're headed. And as much as we want to make fun of Peacock and that name and probably the streaming service almost nobody has, I'm gonna be 100% honest and say I really like the sound of this show. The plot details going on for this series has it as the series is described as a horror adventure show that reimagines the origin of Casper in a coming-of-age story that explores what it means to be alive. When a new family arrives in the small town of Eternal Falls, Casper finds himself entangled in a mystery, uncovering dark secrets that have been buried for over 100 years. What I really liked about this announcement is they're making it clear just because it's Casper the Friendly Ghost, and this has been known to be a family-friendly IP, they're gonna want to take a darker approach with Casper and actually try to tell a little horror adventure story. And as someone who's like a huge fan of that original 1995 movie, I feel like there is some dark elements in that film. Even though it's pretty family friendly, it's a movie I really adore and get a kick out every time I watch it. So now hearing that they're wanting to bring it back for a live action series, take it a little seriously, have the source material a little darker, got me crazy, but hey, I'm gonna be there for my friend Casper. Oh, actually, hang on. Even got a Casper Funko Pop. I'm pretty excited for this. How are you guys feeling about Casper the Friendly Ghost getting a live action series on Peacock and them wanting to take a serious dark approach to it? Moving on to something else we weren't expecting to hear about. Everyone knows around the Halloween season, we have these stores called Spirit Halloween that be taking up the dead space of what once used to be an IHOP, maybe a Blockbuster. I know in my town, it's the corpse of what used to be my Toys R Us. They take over for a period of time, filling the guts of the store with just Halloween goodness, costumes galore, and sometimes fun little props I could use on the channel. That's where I got my little Chucky Good Guy ruler and my Killer Clowns from Outer Space bat. Still don't know when I'm gonna use it on the channel, but I think I just did. Well, I was shocked to hear that they're actually going to be making a movie based off the Spirit Halloween stores. Variety here has it reported, Spirit Halloween store film in the works, starring Christopher Lloyd and Rachel Leigh Cook. The plot for the movie goes as, when a new Spirit Halloween store appears in a deserted strip mall, three middle school friends who think they've outgrown trick-or-treating make a dare to spend the night locked inside the store Halloween night. But they soon find out the store is haunted by an angry evil spirit who has possessed the creepy animatronic characters. The kids embark on a thrilling and spooky adventure in order to survive the night and avoid becoming possessed themselves. I love the sound of that plot. I think that sounds really cool and fun. A bunch of kids just doing those internet challenges of spending the night at a store. They pick a Spirit of Halloween, and then before you know it, the animatronics in that store come to life. Sounds a little familiar. Definitely already see people calling this a Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff, but we have to remember, FNAF doesn't own the rights to every animatronic horror movie ever made. It is the most popular one and the one fans are just demanding for a movie, and it's just funny to think there's other films that continue to be released before the FNAF movie. Now, there is a bit of a catch here. Before you get too excited and going crazy like, damn, Spirit of Halloween making a movie, nice little plot, animatronic puppets, there's some creepy ones every time I walk in there. The movie is being targeted as a family horror movie, so it's gonna be more Goosebumps instead of Willy's Wonderland or Banana Splits type carnage. That right there, I know is already gonna turn off a lot of people going, oh great, well I know I'm not watching it now. And I can understand, even myself when I first heard that, I was like, oh really? This kind of sucks. But when you really think about it from a business point of view, the whole point of Spirit of Halloween getting a movie is to drive families and business to the store. And even though there's weirdos like me that go every time to those stores to buy little props or stuff like that for my horror collection, I bet you the main generating source of money for those stores are parents and families that go buy their kids' costumes for Halloween. So you don't really want to make a really scary movie about your store that'll scare those kids from ever wanting to step inside. So this could just be a little fun, simple movie, or at worst, it could be very memeable. The last thing I want to say about this that also surprised me, the movie's already filmed and done. So this isn't something that we'll see in a couple of years or whatnot. We're actually going to get this movie this year. In the article, it says that filming wrapped on the film and it's expected to release in October of 2022. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Might be something I talk about here on the channel, but you guys hear of Spirit of Halloween getting its own movie releasing this year. How do you feel about it? All right, now stepping away from the horror genre, we got some nice little interesting details involving one of Disney Plus's upcoming series, and that is the Percy Jackson live-action series. Yesterday, they finally went ahead and casted their main star, Percy Jackson himself. Walker Scobell, who you might know from the recent Adam Project movie with Ryan Reynolds, has been cast as Percy Jackson. And as someone who loved Logan Lerman in the role of Percy Jackson and was enjoying those movies back in the day, I think this is a great choice for the character. The kid really proved himself in Adam Project. So that's exciting for him and Percy Jackson fans, but what I'm really curious about here is if this show can really reach a broad audience. Outside of like the Star Wars and Marvel shows, I think Disney is really struggling to find an audience to show all their original shows to. I mean, they had that Turner and Hooch show with Josh Peck that got canceled after our first season, and it feels like I'm always hearing about these other non-Marvel or Star Wars shows that are just getting canceled at Disney Plus because no one is really wanting to watch them. Percy Jackson might be that first thing that's like a large IP, has a fan base, isn't Marvel or Star Wars, that could thrive on the platform. But I wonder what kind of tone they're going for. I know it's Disney, and I know they want to stick family friendly, being this is kind of like a children's book. But like when I saw the first photo of their National Treasure television series that they're coming out with, which so ridiculous, especially since they're not bringing in Nicolas Cage. One look at this photo and you just get Disney Channel vibes, which, hey, we all watched Disney Channel as a kid. We love Disney Channel, but streaming service, you gotta have a different vibe, a more appealing look. And I just wonder if Percy Jackson will get the money like Star Wars and Marvel shows, or this will be something that'll be Disney Channel-fied. But I throw it off to you guys. You hear that this is your casting for Percy Jackson. 1, do you like it? And 2, do you think Disney Plus can actually make this a successful show? Or will they Disney-fy it? Moving on here, talking about the live-action Barbie movie, something I never thought I would be all this excited about, but the more information that comes out, the more I'm like, Give me this Barbie movie. We got the announcement that Will Ferrell has joined the live-action Barbie movie starring Margot Robbie as Barbie and Ryan Gosling as Ken. And even though we don't know too much about the plot or what's going to be going down in this movie, the role Will Ferrell plays kind of gives us an idea. It's said that Will Ferrell will be played a CEO of a toy company, most likely Mattel, which is the company that owns the Barbie brand. And one right there, I love it already. Will Ferrell, I think, is a hilarious guy. He can only elevate the Barbie movie from here. And with that said, I think there is a lot of people undermining what this Barbie movie could be, man. You have Greta Gerwig as the director of this film. Anytime Greta Gerwig does something, she gets Oscar recognition, and with the talent they're adding, not just with Will Ferrell, Ryan Gosling, and Margot Robbie, they've even added Simu Liu into this. I think this Barbie movie could turn out being something really special. So yeah, I can't wait to hear more about this Barbie movie, see how it comes out whenever we get our first trailer, how Will Ferrell plays into the movie. But I throw it off to you guys. Are you someone who's excited for a live-action Barbie movie? Or you still think this is a terrible idea? Something else here involving Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, we learned a little interesting tidbit about when the movie will be shown to critics. Now this is something that movie fans tend to look at nowadays, is when do people get to see this film and when can they talk about it on the internet? Sometimes it can be a really good showcase to how good or bad a movie is, or other things. Like with Morbius, I wasn't allowed to post my review for Morbius until 7 o'clock at night, the day before Morbius is released to the public. And that was an obvious sign that the movie was no good, and they didn't want me telling people that because then it would hurt their ticket sales. And then you have other situations, like I remember when Black Panther came out, they went ahead and showed that movie and reviewed it for audiences a month before it was released. And that's because Marvel had real faith. They knew they had a hit on their hands, and people ended up loving that film. Now here with Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, we got something kind of different going on here. We have here from Eric Davis, who works at Fandango, saying Disney will be giving Doctor Strange the Star Wars and Endgame treatment. No one sees the full film until May 2nd. Reactions will follow the premiere reviews to drop the next morning. This is due to spoilers and keeping surprises hidden till as close to release as possible. And that should really kind of excite fans, because I don't think they're doing this because Doctor Strange is a bad movie, letting critics see it the week of the release and then having the reviews up like a day or two before the movie comes out. No. I fully believe this is because Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness is just gonna have insane secrets and cameos like we've all been expecting. And although for a little bit it seemed like a lot of stuff in Doctor Strange 2 was gonna be ruined for us, sort of like Spider-Man No Way Home, when we got those concept arts of Professor X being in the movie and then a chained up Doctor Strange with Ultron bots, they ended up showing that in the trailer. So when you really think about it, we don't know much of the leaks or story points or any crazy things that'll be going down. Sure, we have our theories like Tom Cruise Iron Man, maybe a Tobey Maguire cameo, but nothing that has been leaked sure enough, like with Spider-Man No Way Home, where we're like, yeah, this movie's ruined for us. And I think that is just so refreshing. I just cannot wait to see this movie and actually be surprised. That's like something you only get one time every time you see a Marvel movie, is the surprises it has, and it does enhance your experience. So I think this is great of Marvel to do, and it only makes me more interested to like, what are those post-credit scenes? What are those cameos? What are the ramifications that this movie has on the future of the MCU? So I throw it off to you guys. How do you feel about Marvel going ahead and being very secretive about when they can release the movie to critics, and any idea what the big surprises might be? But that is all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movies. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at 3CFilms or on TikTok at 3CFilms. Those links are in the description. But as always, my name is Chris. Take care.